Good morning, beautiful people, on this lovely Monday. So, I know last week I had mentioned about having to take my finals and everything like that, and I will say that I did very, very well. So, I come out of all three of my classes for my master's degree, going from highest to lowest. So, I always want to mix two of these classes up because the work is very similar. One of them's advanced theory, the other one's advanced practice of nursing. But I want to say the advanced theory class have 100 average, and then the advanced practice in nursing I have a 98 point something. I think it was like 98.4. And then in my advanced pathophysiology class, which is the one that was kind of kicking my butt a little bit, that one is a 92 average. So, all in all, with those averages and everything else, I am done with that semester and moving to the next one. And that starts Wednesday. So there's technically with South College, they already kind of put the classes up. I think it was either Friday or Saturday, even though they don't start till this Wednesday. That way people can order their books and stuff like that, I guess. Which I went through the Canvas portal and already ordered my books. Which I ordered my books off Amazon, even though I don't really use the books often. Every once in a while, I'll need them for when I write papers and stuff like that. I'll use them as like a reference source. So, and if a book usually has an access code, I usually wind up using the access code at least because the access code in a lot of these books have PowerPoints with audio, like audio PowerPoints, which, as I mentioned before, I'm kind of a either a hands-on learner or a audio-visual learner. Not a very like I can do reading comprehension, but out of the three categories, reading comprehension is probably my worst. Like the order would be hands-on, like most men, honestly. I feel like hands-on training is usually the best for me, and then audio-visual is the second best, and then reading comprehension falls third. And I know people that are actually the polar opposite of that, where their reading comprehension is great. You can basically memorize a book, but their hands-on is horrible. So everybody's a little different. You got to figure out what works for you. But the access codes, they have these audio visual PowerPoints a lot of times. Sometimes they'll have review and rationale practice questions. Sometimes they'll have like lectures and videos inside of them. Or in the case of like the anatomy and physiology stuff, not the one that I did, but the one I did back when I was doing my bachelor's degree, I remember it had like a Sims lab where you could essentially dissect the human body and stuff like that on the computer, and that kind of helped me a little bit. So I have ordered my books for this next semester, and we will start it up Thursday when I get home, because technically the starting day is Wednesday. And in all three classes, I already got stuff that's due Friday. So they definitely got me hitting the ground running. The other thing, so they're on the real estate side, we're trying to figure out what's going on there with that extension / everything else that we need to get done on that. I'm basically I've done my part. I'm waiting for a response and a plan of action by the buyer and their realtor. Which again is why I don't really like, as a realtor, I know a lot of people like being on the selling side because they quote unquote call it a guaranteed sale. But I gotta say, I'd rather work with a buyer than the seller. Like, not saying I don't like real estate in general, but I feel like I get more done on the buying side, whereas on the selling side, it's like, you help them clean up the property, fix whatever needs to be fixed. You get the professional photography, you upload it on all the things, you push it out, you do the marketing, and then you just wait. Which, admittedly, with everything else I got going on, is great that I can just kind of wait. I don't have to actively be doing a bunch of stuff with it. But on the buying side, it's like I can be a little bit more creative. I can be a little bit more like hands-on with it. And I'm a very hands-on person. So the selling side is it's a little bit, just comparatively, I just like the buying side. I'm not going to say it's bad, because it's not bad. It has its pros. Because one thing, like everybody says, as a selling realtor, I mean, you're pretty much kind of like locked into that house as the sales rep for that house, as long as you don't get fired. But on the buying side, like I was saying in a previous video, you might show 3-4 houses, and then they don't buy nothing, and you just wasted all that time. So, and then like I was kind of ranting and raving in that other video, the time equals money equation. So, you just got to figure all those things out. But I do like it, and for the most part, it's a good mental break for me with the travel nursing and just nursing in general. It's not very physically demanding, honestly. I mean, sometimes you get like 400 or 500 pound patients that you gotta roll over and all that kind of crap like that. But it's not like I'm working concrete, turning big rocks into little rocks or anything like that. So I can't complain in that sense. But the mental fatigue is real. Like, you work a 12, 13-hour shift dealing with, complex medical issues and things like that. You just hit a mental fatigue with it. And just makes it where you just want to go home, go to bed, and, get some rest and let your brain just relax. I think that's also why I like playing video games sometimes, is it gives my my brain an escape, I guess that's the best way to word it. Which I really need. Which I really need to kind of get out of the habit of that and start doing more with getting outside and doing more of the stuff I need to get done. But on the same token on that is I don't have a lot of disposable income right now to do some of the things I want to do outside. So it's one of those things where even if I have the time, I don't have the resources or income right now to do it, because between normal bills, wife, kids, and college and clinicals and traveling and pretty much kind of living borderline paycheck to paycheck. I mean, usually it's not quite paycheck to paycheck, but it is it's pretty close to it. But that's neither here nor there. Short-term suffering for a long-term gain, as I like to say. But we will see what happens. The 3 classes I'm taking for this semester, or mini master, whatever you want to call it, looks like it's the hard one's probably going to be advanced pharmacology. I'm already anticipating that one being the hard one. The other one is informatics, and then the third one is advanced research. So advanced research, pharmacology, advanced pharmacology and informatics. So informatics will probably just be a bunch of busy work, I feel like. Same with research. I feel like that's going to be a bunch of busy work on those things. And then the pharmacology is going to be the one that I really have to study and do tests with and stuff like that. Although, thinking about it, I have already kind of sneaked a peek at the informatics, and I saw some quizzes on that one. So I might have to study up on that one too. It might not be as easy as I was first anticipating. And then the research one, it mentioned about some midterm and final papers. So it basically seems like the whole time you're doing your research for this semester, it's all coming to an accumulation of your final paper, from what I was kind of reading into there. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. I don't know why this guy's going 45 here. It's definitely 55, and it's in the middle of nowhere, so you could easily be doing, 60, 70. Like what most people do. I usually keep it around 60. I go a little 5 over. But, anyways, I'm gonna finish up this drive. Oh, I'll probably talk about it more in tomorrow's video, but I am about to pay off the car, and admittedly, me and the wife are already looking at trucks. But I've been looking a little bit more, and we still owe on my wife's car, her SUV. So I'm debating whether I just go ahead and trade it in for the truck that we want, or if I just wait it out. So we will see on that. But ultimately, either way, we plan on trading hers in for a truck. Because, we pretty much decided, like, with the kids and everything else, like, even if we had one more kid, we could make it work with a truck as long as it has the bench seats. So we're not too worried about any of that. So we're looking at a truck with a bench seat. And I'm really leaning into just trading hers in and being kind of done with it. But we'll see. But all of y'all stay blessed. Give the wife and kids a hug. Smack the old lady on the butt. Let her know you love her. And just have a good day.